Today's video, there's a point I want to talk about, which I think a lot of people are missing, or forgetting about, okay? And I'm going to set it up by sharing a spiritual teaching that is from the Tao Te Ching, okay? Which is one of the most profound ancient spiritual texts that my teacher has gone into more detail in. And my teacher says it's one of the most profoundest teachings. It's the highest teaching, okay? It's called Tao Normal Creation and Tao Reverse Creation. So I haven't got a board to do this. I've covered it in many other videos, but just briefly, I'll try and explain it. The normal process of creation is Tao. Tao, Lao Tzu said, he said, I call it Tao, call it what you want. The second that you've labeled it with a name, it's lost what it is. It's not Tao, but we call it Tao, okay? He started the Tao Te Ching by saying, the Tao that can be comprehended by thoughts and explained by words is not the true Tao, okay? So when you think you understand what it is, you haven't got it. So it's the source. It's the unified field. That's actually more than that. But let's just try and grasp what it is. The unified emptiness, which all existence comes from. Over eons, that unified field, that oneness, creates a condition called Hundun. Okay? Hundanichi is a blurred condition. Okay? And over eons, heavy chi falls, light chi rises. So the Tao, the oneness, the unified field, creates two. What is the two? The two is the heavy chi and light chi, which is then the dualistic yin-yang world. Okay? And as they fall, heavy chi creates the physical world, let's say Mother Earth, and light chi creates the spiritual world. Okay? So the Tao is beyond the spiritual world. These are a yin-yang pair, spiritual fathers and mother. Spiritual father, spiritual mother to all existence. So two, which is yin-yang, plus the oneness field, create three. Now, we can see this in our own body. Physical body that you can touch and feel belongs to Mother Earth. When we're conceived and our mother eats food, the amino acids and the trace elements from the food create the body of the baby. But there's also a spirit to us. Okay? If my spirit was to leave this body now, this body would be dead. That belongs to heaven, the spiritual world. So that's two. But everything exists within and because of the Tao. So this is how in a human body, for example, we can understand that there's three parts to our existence. Heaven, the body, earth, soul, heaven, body, earth, and the Tao. The Tao is what is in everything. It is the reason for everything. It's the thing, the creator. So Tao creates one, which is the blurred condition. That blurred condition creates yin-yang, which is two. Two plus the Tao creates three. From three, all things come. Okay? The macro, which is the unified field, into the micro. It's subdivided infinitely. Okay? You look at how many subdivisions, different elements, different bacterias and so on and so forth. The reverse process is everything naturally that exists is on its way back to the Tao. Now we could go into this in more detail, but I'm not going to go into it here. The reverse process is the purpose that I want to share this video, because this is an important message, okay? This is a really important thing to grasp, which I think a lot of people are missing out on. Lao Tzu said in a different chapter, Ren fa di, di fa tian, tian fa dao, dao fa ziran. Okay? And this is the reversed process of Tao. What it means is, Ren fa di means human beings follow Mother Earth's laws. Okay? If I jump up, I come back down. We have to abide by Mother Earth's laws. If you don't have the training, okay, you don't have the wisdom, if you go into the Antarctic and you've just got your shorts on, you're probably going to freeze to death, okay? If you go into the Sahara desert and you have a big ski suit on, you're probably going to cook and dehydrate and die, okay? You have to follow Mother Earth's laws. Di fa tian means that Mother Earth follows heaven. Mother Earth follows spiritual laws. This is the key that I'm trying to get across, which is important. Anything that happens on Mother Earth, there is a spiritual reason for. The next part is Tian Fa Dao, which means heaven follows Dao. Dao Fa Ziran means Dao follows what is natural. Now, let's think about this. If everything that happens in the physical world, it follows heaven, spiritual reason for that. That means if there's a tsunami, okay, there's a spiritual reason for that. This is why if we're affected by anything in the world, there's a spiritual reason why we're affected by it, okay? It's our karma. So why is it important? It's important because we're so focused on what's happening with humanity. We've missed something. And I think it's a very important thing we've missed. What we've missed is Mother Earth is a conscious, living being. Whether it's a plane, it doesn't matter. It's a conscious plane of existence. And we have created a huge spiritual debt. So while we're all focused on what the elite, while we're all focused on what the fallen cult are doing, and we're saying Q's going to sort it out for us, Trump's going to sort it out for us, it's all done, we can sit back, and I've put this in another video. The emphasis of this video is Mother Earth could speak to us, guys, okay? Many indigenous elders predicted this. Mother Earth is something we cannot ignore. We could face natural disasters throughout this transition, huge ones. Why? Because anything that happens on a physical level, there's a spiritual reason for it. Now, how I can share this to you without you going into fear is very simple. If you understand the teaching of karma, if you are deeply unconscious and identified with an ego, it's going to make you afraid, okay? Because the ego likes to blame everybody else for what's happening to them. Go into the victim state. Why me? When I understood karma, it liberated me, because I thought no more blaming anything outside. It's my journey. Whatever happens to me is my responsibility. It's something I've done. And this is how life communicates. Life doesn't say with a voice. I mean, I believe it can do. But it doesn't just say, Nick, you've got to heal this. You've done this. It doesn't do that. It shows what we've done and what we need to heal by those events happening to us, those challenges arising in us. So This is a collective evolution, but it's got to be an individual one too. We have to do our own work. You understand? Because if natural disasters could happen, they absolutely can be reduced. But how? By clearing our spiritual debt individually and collectively. And this is the universal role of love, forgiveness, compassion, unity. These are fundamental pillars in every spiritual tradition, and they are inexhaustible. Okay? Hate, the Buddha said, hate never dispelled hate. Only love dispels hate. This is the law, infinite and inexhaustible, eternal. Okay? So what am I getting at here? Instead of sitting back saying, we've done it, we've nailed it, blah, 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 blah. This is still surface stuff. This is still looking through the keyhole. Okay, maybe, Trump's going to come in and they'll drain the swamp and it'll all be good. It won't. Mother Earth could have a big say in this, because we've all played our part in creating huge suffering, whether it's through our thoughts, our actions and our words. This isn't something to fear. This is the greatest thing you could find out, because your Tao reverse creation, we're gonna have to purify it sometime. If you're listening to this and it resonates with you, make a decision now. I'm gonna serve. My teacher's been telling me for 10 years, just serve. Just serve selflessly and unconditionally. I get more insights into that every day. I understand it after 10 years every day. I'm sure in 100 years, if I'm still in this body, I'll get it more then. Just serve. Just serve. Just help people. Don't force help. Don't try and help someone who hasn't asked for help. But just put your consciousness on selflessness. Okay? I am here to relieve the suffering, to help humanity wake up to unity and love, forgiveness and compassion. And the best way to teach is through example. I commit my life to being forgiven, for sincerely purifying my mistakes. I commit my life from this point to not contributing to violence in the world. I dedicate my life to this point, from this point, to bring peace to this world while I'm here. These are so empowering. These are not things to commit to that disempower you. When you put all beings in front of yourself, that's empowerment, including the dark side. My teacher, in one of his books, it says, we need to be God's shepherds, guiding the light and the dark into heaven before ourselves. If you don't get empowered here and there, then you're not ready, and that's okay. That's okay, your journey. But if that gives you goosebumps when you hear that, you will realize that we are here to serve. You will see suffering in those that are creating suffering. You will align yourself with compassion. You will go deeper into your forgiveness, because you know what? When we purify and we forgive and we work through our stuff and we help others do the same, when humanity collectively chooses love, works on forgiving others, not pointing the finger and asking sincerely for forgiveness, when they move into compassion and they understand the suffering that's going on in those that are creating suffering, they bring light to the world, a detached light, okay, a conscious light, and they unify. We grow out of this. And I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but we can't hear this enough. We grow out of what we're going through. We purify our spiritual debt. because Mother Earth follows heaven. Whatever happens is a spiritual reason. So whatever's coming to us, the spiritual reason. So we heal the soul first. We purify our karma first. Then healing of the mind and body, energy and matter follows. There's a one sentence secret from my teacher. I gain more insight into it every day. So powerful. Heal our spiritual debt first. Karma clearing first. Then we'll see a difference in the collective consciousness and we'll experience a new world. So don't just think this is what's going on with humans. It's not. Mother Earth follows spiritual laws. And if we have a big spiritual debt that we're not clearing fast enough, there'll be a purification on this plane. Okay? A natural one. A natural purification. A natural cleansing. How do you think Mother Earth cleanses herself? How do you think we clean the topsoil? Volcanic. You think about it. Whenever volcanoes erupt, whatever they drop is very fertile for the ground. We're destroying our topsoil. Okay? Even the seabed. If you look at the seabed, so polluted right now, how does it clear itself? Now listen, this isn't climate change. I'm not giving you a climate change. That's all a part of the agenda, okay? To make us think that everything's finite and we're destroying the planet. I'm not buying climate change. I believe it's a hoax. But I do believe that this way of living where we just keep polluting the ocean because it's okay, it'll sort itself out. No, every time we pollute the ocean, there's a spiritual debt because we're not caring for it. Every time a fisherman's got a line, he cuts his line, he doesn't care that his line goes in there. And it's so detrimental to it breaks my heart when I think how much fishing wire is in the ocean. Every time you cut that wire and you don't care, right? Spiritual karma. Of course you're creating karma. How can you think you're not creating karma by doing that? If you don't care. I know mates that hunt. I've got friends that hunt. And I say that I'm not saying don't hunt or do hunt. I'm not jumping on that. But what I'm saying is there's always a way to do it. If you think of everything as having a conscious awareness, an animal has conscious awareness, it's experiencing through its body. When it dies, that consciousness is still conscious when it leaves the body. This is why when people have near-death experiences, they have these out-of-body experiences. They're looking down. There's no linear time. Everything's happening at once. There's bigger perspective. Then when they come back in the body, boom, they come look through the eyes again. So you think of an animal. You kill an animal, right? And it leaves the body. If you, like at the beginning of, I think it's a movie called Apocalypto, the tribe there, they kill an animal in the beginning. And the father and the sons, they put their hand on the animal and they pay respect to it. We admire your agility, your beauty. We thank you, we're sorry. We thank you, you're going to feed our family. Imagine that souls left the body is looking down on that situation. That soul will forgive because there's a respect there. If you kill an animal and you don't care, you're laughing and joking while it's suffering on the floor and you just leave it to die and you don't care. When that soul leaves the body, it can absolutely have a grudge against you. It's all about how we do things, whether we care or we don't. When we have a mentality of survival of the fittest, I look after me, I don't care about everyone else, you're creating karma. And we're doing this collectively. If whatever we do creates more division and more anger and violence, we're creating karma. So it's time now to purify our spiritual debt. I hope this has saved you. I'm sorry it's another long video. I wanted to keep this short. I love you all very much. Always here. Take care. Bye-bye.